Hi everyone, happy November. I hope you are doing well. I thought that I would make this intro video while I'm shuffling for the next reading. I want to explain something. First and foremost, I want to thank you from beyond my life, honestly, beyond my soul. I am beyond grateful for all of the amazing emails, all of the well wishes, all of the positive energies. What you don't even realize that you did was, and I can't be more grateful. I don't do well with modern medicine. I don't, and it's terrifying because I'm always the one that, they'll say, oh, well, in general. I'm always that one that I'm always the in general that doesn't fit into that. So anything that works for someone else most likely will not work for me. So it's always terrifying, especially with having to deal with this, because I'm like the one that nothing works for. But the one thing that had worked for me, like I said, for 30 years, and people were always amazed, including doctors, that I really didn't come out of remission a lot. And when it did, I could snap it back in. It was never like this. And I knew going into this, when it wasn't getting better, it was getting worse, that something, might really happen here. It was a little terrifying. So I'm glad to say, though, that the minute that I decided to put that out there, I really did feel things switch. So you have no idea how much you absolutely helped me, and I could not be more grateful. So thank you for that. And thank you also for all of the emails with recommendations. Herbal things, again, without you guys even realizing it, that's the route I go, because those things work for me. Modern medicine doesn't, but all of those suggestions that you got, and I noticed that most of you said, I hope I'm not overstepping, and I get that, because I'm always the one busting through someone's, space. So don't ever think, when you've got something to offer someone, always follow through with that, because that's how we learn things. That's how we get ideas. That's how, when someone sends me something, I'll test drive it and I'll share it with someone else. So always do that. For some of you, if you're looking and you think you're sitting on nothing, sometimes you'll see a reading come through and it's like, oh, well, I don't have any gifts. Those are gifts. Those are beyond gifts, because those change people's lives. And I'll tell you that. I can tell you that just by what I've received here. So there you go. Okay. Secondly, I want to point out how I'm doing the readings for this month. All right. As you know, if you're following my channel, you know my readings are a little bit different. They're a little bit more deep. My goal, because that is what my lifetime is about, is empowering you to go and empower your life. So I can't give you a little reading. I need to give you a what's underneath it, so that when you come up against it, it helps you. You know why something's happening. It makes the shifts a little bit easier. Okay, so what I'm doing this time is that, and this is the first time also ever that I've done readings over, because they were so not sitting with me. And then I would get a lot of messages afterward, just that it was right. It wasn't, it shouldn't go that way. And I just was getting like a fog was coming over me when I was doing the reading, and I did too. And it was just like, no, it's not right. And I stopped and I meditated on it, and no, I shouldn't have pulled the trigger on those, and I didn't. What I'm doing here is I'm going down. I'm getting underneath what these changes that you'll be experiencing are for. Okay, they're larger, they're big, they're going to be, being reborn is such a cliche, but it's like you're going to be present with this one. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to come into this life like the new baby. You're going to come into the life with what you've acquired until now, good, bad, and indifferent. And you're going to step into your life, right? And you're going to do it in a way that could be terrifying. But what I want you to know is that relationships on all fronts, that's you and someone else. I don't care if it's your animal or whoever it is, right? It's not just one-on-one relationships. So please don't cap out on that. You're the other half of any equation in your life, okay? But some relationships are going to end. Some have taught you things, but now you go on to something else. Some jobs, some careers, some talents, some things you want to do, some things you want to eat, some things you don't want to eat, the way you want to look, how you want to how you want to step into yourself, how you trust your intuition, how you trust yourself. Your life is changing for each of you in a different way. You're dissolving something and you're evolving something. That's why the readings that I'm doing is dissolve, evolve, and what are my blessings in here, right? And remember, blessings can sometimes come in a holy crap that really hurt. Those are blessings too, okay? But what we're dissolving, where we're evolving. Okay, so that's how I'm going down into this reading. So you're going to realize when you come up against these things, which are probably going to be big game changers. I feel like karma's being paid off here. I feel like health issues are being leveled out in whatever way that is. I think that relationships, how we stand up, how we show up, the things we put our hands on, what we really want to do is changing. But it's changing at a holy crap instant level. Some of the things, right? Some of the things can be a little bit of a shock and an awe, right? Things like that. I know that people are saying, and I'm not pulling on Uranus in here, I'm just pointing this out, that I've noticed that Uranus is not, people are rah-rahing it. It's a liberation planet, and it is, but it usually comes in the form of like a lightning strike to your ass is what it comes, and it comes like in a blink of an eye. So it's a little terrifying, and I know that it's in a lot of these things, but I'm pulling here for you guys, okay, and how things are going to transpire. So when these things come along, or when a relationship is really just, it's toxic, it's not able to be mended, you're just not going to see eye to eye on things, it makes this a little bit easier to face that, right? Realizing that you're dissolving things and you're evolving with things. But my intention for this type of reading is to get under what you'll be experiencing starting this month, right? So use the other tarot readers that you're dealing with or that you're watching. Use those as well, how this will apply to me, but this will be like the master plan, right? As to why those things are happening. And then in December, I'll go back to the normal. I'll hit it as a normal reading, but I want you to have this blueprint as to how things, take what works for you and don't, and leave the rest. My suggestion for this month, okay, is to look at your rising sign first, because that to me is why you chose to be in this life now. Okay, then your sun and your moon and whatever else you choose to look at. Okay, however this fits for you, but for my readings, because I'm pulling on why is this person here? What is their intent in this life, right? Why did they choose to come here? Those were what I asked to be seen. Okay, so for this month, for me, for this channel, and for us, just please use your rising sign. Okay, so there you go. I hope this was short enough. I know you guys hate it, but again, I cannot ever thank you enough for what you did, and I'm beyond grateful. So there you go. Hi Scorpio, happy November. I hope you're doing well. Okay guys, I know the lighting is crappy. I cannot do a damn thing about it right now. So I hope that you get the message and you can just please go with me here. Your reading is phenomenal, as it always is. And I think that if you actually stepped into your life, how do I say this? I say it often, and I just hope that one day I can say something that gets you really going in a direction that you need more fun in your life. You have to have joy in your life. You have to implement that into your life. Joy, contentment, travel, go experience things, go taste things, go smell things, go do things, go put your hands on things. Don't believe, I read it in a book somewhere, so that must be it. It's you need to incorporate. And ironically, I never get to say this to anyone because it's usually someone who's, we slack off or we really want to have more fun. With you, it's you need to incorporate these things into your life, and you need to release maybe the stronghold on meshing yourself into so many other things. I think when you clear I don't need to really be involved in this. I really don't need any part in this. I don't need to be involved at all in this. It has nothing to do with me. I think when you release that, I think that you are able to step into your own here. And where I'm going is, there might be some of you too, I didn't anticipate this, but there might be some issues around trusting a partner or trusting in yourself or trusting the affection of another to really love you in a way that I think you've got some insecurities around how people love you, or what they love you for, or do they really love you or care about you? I think there's some inadequacy there in you, though. It doesn't have to do, I feel, with another person. For some of you, though, you're kind of being warned against, I think there's some kind of, it's some kind of, if you don't know yourself, you're caught up in comparing yourself to other people. And I'm just going to lay this straight on the line because I got zonged with this message. There's an inadequacy question around yourself. Am I good enough? You know, am I sexy enough? Am I attractive enough? Am I good enough? Am I good at this? Is my partner happy? Am I happy? There's sensual, sexual issues around here, right? So those, I think, are coming from I am comparing myself to everyone else. That's what I think you need to get away from. It covers A to Z here, because I think you're doing yourself a huge injustice here by trying to compare your life through everyone else's life. Your life is amazing. You've kind of got a carte blanche here to actually enjoy yourself, to go, you've been to hell and back. Now have some fun. Now know that the universe has your back. Trust that you don't have to do it all. The universe has got your back. Okay, that's what you're asked to be doing here. There's also, I'm going to say here, there's again, I think what you're trying to move away from, you've got the intellectual knowledge. Now you need to go put your hands on things. Go travel, go do things, go publish things, write things, teach things. Through your own experience, though, through your own eyes, through your own senses, through things like, try to think exactly, if you think that I'm off course here, try to think of something that you did that you really enjoyed, that just thinking of now as I say that, what is an amazing memory for you? Can you taste it? Can you smell it? Can you relive it instantly in your head? If you can't, you need to go make those kind of memories. That's what you're really being asked to do here. This is huge. I was kind of terrified to be doing your reading, to be honest, because they've been extremely heavy, and I'm like, I really just want to give them a great reading, because I see what's behind all of your readings when I do them. But I see that you guys cling to old habits. You cling to habits that aren't even yours, and they're so beneath where you are. Your lifetime here is about freedom. It's a freedom run. You're here for a reason. You're here to enjoy yourself. You're here to go and stand on your own 2 feet, not be put down by other people, not be compared to other people, you're here to really, you're supposed to show the people. You're supposed to lead the people. You're supposed to be the big master, guru, teacher, you know, whatever you want to put on it. You're the one leading the people in a good way. For some of you, I do get this message, so I've got to put it out here. If you're trying to test the limits of, say, what I mentioned was like, you don't feel like you're, if you're streaming through relationships, if you're blowing through partnerships, if you're going on the down low with things, if you're doing things that aren't getting you anywhere, say you're feeling not really loved, not really appreciated, you don't feel like you're sexy or sexual or whatever, or you've got some inadequacies there, those go into some really dark places. They can show up in fetishes, they can show up in multiple partners. You're enough. You don't need to do the comparison here. You're enough. You need to stop that. And I think that comes from a past life of everything is in the book. You have nothing to compare it to. This time around, you need to go experience things. You need to go meet people, have relationships, go travel, go write things. Example would be, if you wanted to write like a cookbook, go to the different places, taste the foods, create the foods. You need to be in it. You need your senses involved in the things that you're doing. I'm strong here because you've got basically like a free pass this lifetime around to go enjoy yourself. And you're too enmeshed in other people's stuff. And I think you get meshed in other people's stuff because you almost feel, again, your cards coming in here are about moving from your higher mind to moving from your lower mind to your higher mind. And this is exactly what you're dissolving, is the Chariot. He gets his shit together and he goes forward. But until he does that, he's living in a, oh, she doesn't think I'm attractive, or he doesn't think I'm attractive, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, because someone's telling you this. You need to know enough about yourself. And one of your exact messages were, our senses need to be in good working order before we can make clear judgments. In other words, you have to have your faculties together. They can't be by what someone else is telling you. And I don't care if you love someone to death, their opinions aren't gospel. Their opinions are just their input. But you've got to be able to come into these relationships with yourself, standing on your own ground and trusting yourself, and not being so appeasing to all the people. You've got to have your own standpoint. Otherwise, you believe in everything, and that's nothing. You know, that's kind of where I'm going here. But the Chariot here, it's a great card, but what you're dissolving here is the Chariot's not going to move until you get your stuff together, until you know you're enough. It's about mind, body, spirit going forward. That's how the Chariot goes forward in an above board, integral way to yourself. That's what you're dissolving here. You've got ideals built around past lives of intellect. Now it's about, I'm going to go out and I'm going to taste this. I'm going to smell this. I'm going to experience this. You know, what does white taste like? You know, what does rain feel like? Go. What does this smell like? Go get your senses in life around you and go experience it. Okay? Now, again, there's issues here around trust in someone or trust in people. And I know that that's a big deal, right? When you trust in yourself first, you'll notice that the people that you're pulling in, it's not about keeping the masses of people around you. It's about having people that are worth having in your life, right? It's about not acquaintances. It's about solid relationships. That's where you're going here. And with those, you're not going to have trust issues, right? You're going to know you're enough and they're enough. That's it, okay? I know you guys know how to do that, but I think you extend yourself to too many people that aren't worthy of you, right? But it's because it's what you're supposed to do. No, it's not. You're supposed to be more selective of people that are worthy of you, not the other way around, right? That's where you guys sell yourself short. Okay, now what you're evolving into is the Magician. Again, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. I'm going to experience it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to touch it. It's not living through here. It's the senses. You want to get out there and do that, right? The Magician is not about the illusional things that we read about through the book. It's we get out there. He gets out there. It's will to go forward. I'm gonna get my Chariot going here in a positive direction, because I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna know it. I'm not gonna read it in a book. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna know it, right? I'm gonna be able to speak it and teach it. That's what you know. And it's not about a life of trivial pursuit, right? It's not a lot about nothing. It's stuff that you know. You know what I mean? You know it because you know it. You know it because you test drove it. You just didn't read it in a book. You know it because you've gotten in that arena, whatever it is, right? I know red tastes like red because this. I've tasted it. You know, you want to come from that perspective. It's, what do I say? And I'm notorious for this too. I'm always reading a little of something or whatever. So I always say I'm like the useless plethora of knowledge. And the only way that would come into play and serve any purpose is in a trivial pursuit kind of game. But life is not like that. You know what I mean? You're supposed to now trust yourself. Go do something. Go lead the people. That's kind of what you're supposed to do. But you guys, you got to get out of the gate to do it. And you've got to have some confidence in yourself. Okay, now, this is our blessing cards are the Temperance card, the Emperor. I love how he's standing, because that's what you need to be doing. You need to be standing. You need to be in action, going somewhere, okay? And you've got the Star card, and you've got the Judgment card. This is a point in time. It is a calling. It's a new beginning. It's an opportunity, okay, to do that. Now, what you've got here is the Temperance card. Building something new, going slow, tasting this, smelling this, making something new, growing a life that's yours organically. Get out there and do it. Taste it, smell it, create it. A little of this, a little of that. You're like, pretend you're like the men, women, I don't care. This is my analogy. The Queen of Sheba, going on like a spice run, going to see all these Far East markets. Go taste this stuff. Go sell these things. Go experience life, right? That kind of thing here for yourself, not what someone told you, not the things you were ingrained with as a child, not the things you believed or were told or were taught, or this is what I taste, or this is what, no, go do it. Go do it, right? Now, the Emperor here, this I really feel is, again, it doesn't always need to be so matter of fact. It doesn't always need to be so business and tidy. It's about going and having some fun, cutting yourself some slack, go experience things. Right? Before you can be the emperor sitting in the throne, you've got to go experience these things. It's lead by example. Lead because I've done this, right? Now, the Star card, too, is a renewal of yourself. It's truly knowing who you are. It's having faith. There's a destiny card here, and there are people in here, too. There's something about foreign travel here. So if you have wanted to move somewhere or go somewhere, you want to do, or you want to start doing a lot of international travel, or you want to go trying and seeing a bunch of different places, do that. You may meet up for someone. For you single Scorpios, you may meet someone from a foreign country who is beyond filthy rich. And I hate to put it so crass like that, but it's someone who's extremely wealthy. You could absolutely, literally step right into that. And what you do is, this is something where it bridges whatever you're doing and it brings the people. It's something that you would do together. It would be like a person that you two would combine what you're doing, what you want to do, your taste for life, and it would help the people. It's that kind of deal. Okay. And the Judgment card again, it's a point in time. It's a whole new beginning for you. It's clearing karma. It's doing your life now for you. That's what you're here to do. I hope I'm strong enough. I hope this reading, I should say, is strong enough. I'm not going to scream at you. You're all adults. But this is like, go taste life for the love of God. You know what I mean? Go take a camel ride somewhere and go taste all the Far East markets. Go on a magic carpet ride. Go see these things. Go touch them. Go smell them. And for those of you having relationship issues, or for those of you not wanting to get in a solid relationship a solid relationship, if that's what you want, you need to know who you are first. So I would suggest that you get out there and experience a little bit more of life. I don't care if you're, I don't care what you do for a job. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what your tax bracket is. This is about you experiencing your life from the inside out, not someone telling you what you should do from the outside in. You see? Go do it. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I've got. I think it's a great reading. I really pray you guys do it. I really do. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. I will be doing private readings very soon. I'm pacing myself here. So if you need a private reading, please reach out to me in about a week or so. I put some specials for the last 2 months. It's my give back to you. So take advantage of those on the website in about a week or so if you choose. Okay? Thank you so much. Please, for the love of God, go do this.